Hey guys, and thanks for tuning in once again to CMA Industry Week. I'm your host, Ben Wu, for day 5. Shifting gears, we're going to shift our focus and put a spotlight on another important Canadian distributor. They're known as MSC, based out of Calgary in Alberta. And for the next few hours, we're going to get a glimpse of all the offering that MSC has. It's quite a dynamic range of product that ranges from, not going to say entry level, because I don't think anything they do is really entry level, but amplification, sound, DSP, and some top level radar solutions as well, and everything in between. Now, I know that you might be reading the schedule and you might be expecting an Audiotec Fischer DSP software session, but guess what? The boys at MSC kind of gave me a call and said, you know what, Benner, I think we're going to change it up. And they didn't give me any more details than that. So I'm going to let them tell us what they had in mind as we go direct to Calgary and MSC Studios. Hello, gentlemen.
Ben, how are you?
Good day, Ben.
Good day, good day. So you caught me by surprise, and I'm okay with that. You know, I'm not a really scripty kind of guy anyways, but, we did put in some time doing this DSP training, and all of a sudden now we're doing something else. So you know what? First of all, welcome Larry Penn and Chris Van Rye from MSC to CMA Industry Week. I'll give you the opportunity to maybe share with us what you had in mind. Larry.
Well, Ben, we're going to cover lots of Audiotec Fischer stuff coming up throughout the day here. But we, being a relatively new player on the scene with MSC, we thought we'd give those dealers who don't have a lot of experience with us kind of a look inside, the open robe kind of concept of what MSC is and why we did this thing and where we got started. So that's kind of where we wanted to go with this. And we're going to fill your head full of Audiotec Fischer knowledge and all the rest of our brands here coming up throughout the day. But this will kind of give you an idea of our culture, what we believe in, the things that we do that are 180 degrees out of phase with the other manufacturers and the other distribution partners. We just have a different idea, and we hope you like it.
Well, my entire life, everything I've done is always about being different. So I can definitely connect with you when you say things like that. And I think this is a great idea. So just so that we set the stage here, we want to dedicate this session to getting to know the culture that is MSC, and maybe get a glimpse behind the inner workings, the people behind it, and the brands.
Absolutely. So you said a couple of very, very key things there. The last one being the people of MSC. And that's really the important thing that fires this whole company. So I'm the presidente, I guess, if you want to call me that. Really, I'm just one of the crew that kind of tries to guide an unbelievably talented group of people. Mr. Chris Van Rye is with me here today. He's in charge of technical support here in the Canadian division, and is also helping us guide the ship in terms of our graphics and our merchandising and marketing aids. And then if she can spare 2 seconds to walk up here, I've got my partner in crime. She's just going to spend a second because she's really camera shy.
Oh, come
this
on.
is the girl who really makes it all happen. This is my wife and also the administrator here on the MSC side. And then we got Davis. Maybe.
Oh, wait. Does she have a name? Does she have a name?
Sue.
Bring her back. Yes. Bring her back. I didn't even get a chance to say hi. Bring her back.
Do you want to? Well, if you pan over to the left there, the guy with the straw hat. This is our live studio audience, by the way.
Amazing, okay? Amazing.
The times that we're living in, we love being in front of people. We love working with our dealers, but so we thought we'd just create a little live studio audience to make Chris and I feel like we got people around us and that things are happening.
That's
awesome. The dude with the straw hat, he's the guy who makes all your stuff happen and gets the stuff to you. And then we have our unbelievably talented and valuable team in our Mesa, Arizona office, headed by our VP there, Mr. Jason Digos, and Doug Dobson as well as Matt Delgado. They're our sales team handling everything down there. And then we have Dabby Digos, Jason's wife, that handles all the administration down there. And then in behind the scenes in our retail proof of concept idea, we have a talented team of technicians led by Derek Brown and Dewey J. And also a person you may come in contact with is Brad Itzkovich on our sales support line. So it's a relatively small crew. We punch way above our weight class, but it is the people that really drive the ship, and we're proud of that.
I think that's very commendable that you're showing your entire team, and it's important that people know who they're dealing with. I do feel like I wanted to say hi to Sue. So hi, Sue, if you can hear me. Thank you for coming on quickly. The second thing, Larry, I think it's important for dealers who are watching to understand. Can we take a minute or two to talk about your footprint? How are you set up as a business?
Yeah, well, we got 3 different categories, and we're going to talk more about our retail store, which really for us and our team is our proof of concept store, and we'll talk later about that. And then back in 2014, we launched MSC Canada. I'm going to back up just a little bit if I can, Ben. My history with that kind of leads up to that is this is all I've ever done. Mobile audio has been my life. I started, my dad is I guess he still is a certified mechanic, but he was a service manager all of his life, and his passion was 2 things: motorcycles, which I still have the bug for, and unbelievably good audio. So I was raised in a family that didn't have a lot of money, but we always had the best audio shit in the world. And I got hooked. And it was an evening when my father purchased his first set of JBL L100 speakers when I was still a rebel of a teenager, and Scorpions and Judas Priest was on the playlist. And I sat down one night when they were away and got this little thing they called a vinyl LP back in those days.
What's that?
I put it on the turntable, and I had to listen to a song called Fire and Rain by James Taylor. And still, when I say the word, it gives me goosebumps. And I sat and listened to those L100 speakers, which JBL is still making. They reincarnated that as the L100 Classic now. But I was listening to that speaker system, and I went, holy shit. I get why Dad is spending so much money on this stuff, because I get it. James is right in the living room here with me, and there was no drugs involved either. This was just regular old me listening to the song. And that's when it bit me. And he was also into cars and into mobile audio. So we had the old original Fosgate PR2100 amplifiers in his old New Yorker. And while the other kids were out throwing around the baseball, I was welding up amp racks, metal amp racks back in those days. I know I only look about 25, but I'm a lot older than that. And we started building stuff, and it was great. And then through high school, I said, this is what I want to do. So I started working part-time for $0 in my local car audio shop, running wires and getting to learn the business. So I went through installation, I went through sales, I managed the store. We had our own retail store early in life that we failed miserably at and lost a lot of money, because I was one of those guys who thought he knew everything but really didn't know anything about business. And that led me into great relationships with manufacturers and stuff, because I was a sales rep in the Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Lakehead region, and got to know the industry very well, got to know the manufacturer, which led me, I'm just going to fast forward into the last 14 years of my life, was with a company called Electromedia, and I was their area manager, and I took care of business development in Canada, US, Mexico, and Australia. And I was the token English-speaking dude that they sent all over the world to do training. And that was a fantastic company to work with, and we learned a lot. So back in 2014, we launched MSC Canada as the Audison distributor for Canada. And then fast forward to 3 years ago, we had an unbelievable opportunity. Chris, who's with me today, and Jason Digos took a trip to Germany, and we sat down with Heinz Gudrun and Julian Fischer from Audiotec Fischer, and we charted the course to build a North American representation of one of the best audio brands in the world. And that first 3 days, we were supposed to be there for 3 days. At the end of the first day, we all said, I do. And it was a marriage. So CES 2018 was when I stepped down from all other responsibilities that I had. And by 3 months later, we were at Long Beach Knowledge Fest launching our company. And that's where we are today.
That is a brilliant story. I mean, you know, at the top of the hour, you said that you're a relatively young player. And this has nothing to do with your age, Larry. This has to do with your experience. You're not a young player in the game, obviously, with what you've just expressed there, but certainly a long path in car audio that has led you to where you are right now, where you're sitting with the team that you're sitting with and the brands that you represent. Audiotec Fischer is really synonymous with MSC for the last few years. And if you look at the calendar of what we're about to go over in the next few hours, folks, you're going to see why. So what are we at today? What is this all about?
Well, the company, when we started it 3 years ago, when we were sitting around having steaks and beers of what exactly MSC, what is our culture? What are we all about? And those who have done business with me in the past know I'm super passionate, I'm super focused, and super excited to do what we do, and that's support the dealers in the best way we know how. So we, through my relationship with Electromedia, my wife and I moved back to Calgary, and we wanted to, she wanted to start something new and exciting, so we created Mobile Solutions of Calgary. And we use this store as a proof of concept. So what I say by that is the store has been ultra successful. We've been here 13 years now. We're very successful. And we've tried a bunch of stuff that I've been able to learn from my travels around the world to put in place, and put in play, I guess is the better word, of what we're trying to do here. So if it comes down to displays, it comes down to fitment in cars, if it comes down to tooling, if it comes down to beta testing product, all of that stuff is done in our proof of concept retail store, which for our partners is a huge advantage. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chris, because he really takes care of the retail side, and he can explain how that benefits our partners.
Yeah, the retail aspect of our company has been numerous in its benefits to what it can provide to everybody out there. The first thing, as Larry had mentioned, is we're right here in these cars every single day. So when it comes to technical support aspects, when you guys have, or our dealers, our partners, our end-use consumers are having issues, whether it's integrating a product or diving into a new vehicle they've never had a part before, these are things that typically we've already done or one of our other partners has. So these are things that we've tackled, and we know how to have the how to get the answers to those kinds of questions. Next up, big thing is system design. We take all of that information, and on our end, we document all of that stuff. So we've got records of what's been done, where amplifiers are located, speaker sizes, impedances, all of that kind of stuff that you just can't get anywhere other than being in the car, making that stuff happen. The other big benefit that you get is what we're doing on our presentations on the retail side of things. Everything from our display boards, designs, what products work, what's more beneficial or less beneficial to have up and active on there.
Maybe to talk about the Audi, Chris, that RS6 project that we just completed.
One of the prime candidates of an example that ties all of that stuff together was we had a client who just recently picked up his brand new 2021 Audi RS6, Bang & Olufsen system in there. Nobody quite had one of those apart yet. So when we started diving into this project about 6 weeks ago now, we found out that Audi had moved to a new platform. They've moved away from the Most 150 that we're all used to in the VAG group cars. So what we were able to do is, by being in this car, working with other dealers, Ray West at Titan Motoring was a huge supporter in assisting us get into this thing and start to learn what was possible. We learned that there was a whole batch of other challenges. So our relationship with the team at Nav TV allowed us to start developing options, working with those guys, cars in their hands, cars in our hands, and in no time flat, if anybody's noticed over the last few days, Nav TV has just announced their solution for this new Audi platform that's going to carry us into the next handful of years. So these are the kinds of things that having this retail experience available gives us the benefits that we then get to share around with all of our dealer partners all across North America.
You know, speaking on behalf of dealers and what this is really all about, of course, is the technical side, as you pointed out, right? You get to go into the new vehicles, find problems, find solutions. what I really like, and the takeaway from this is you get to now test real-time, real-life selling scenarios to end users, right? Specific to products and needs. So after having done that for so many years, and was it 13 years, Larry? You said the shop's been around?
Yep.
Right? You can literally, when you do your training with your dealers, you can say, look, I'm not telling you this is how you should sell it because this is what I think you should do. I'm telling you this is how you sell it because I've sold it 20 times already and it worked. And that makes a big difference because I've been in a lot of sales trainings, and these sales trainers always tell you to all these, use these techniques and mirror and echo, and that's great as a foundation. But when you're selling a niche want product and not a need product, there's certain techniques that need to be applied, especially if you're selling higher end stuff, which is what you guys specialize in. So I do appreciate what you're saying here with your proof of concept. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, that aspect of it, I mean, we've been fortunate. We've had a lot of successes over the years through the retail side of things, but just like everybody else, we've had a lot of failures along the way too. And those learning experiences are one more thing that go on the list that we're happy to share as a part of this open book that we run every day.
Yeah, everything should be a learning opportunity. And when you recognize that's when you improve and move forward. So very cool. Larry, we're winding down on this first session. We're getting to know intimately what MSC is all about. I'm going to hand the mic over to you.
Perfect. I just also want to speak to our manufacturer relationships. We mentioned Audiotec Fischer. We're also responsible for Blam Audio. We're responsible for Escort, custom install products in Canada with the specialty dealers. Excuse me. We're responsible for Stinger, Mid-City Engineering, a couple other products. But what it really boils down to is a manufacturer relationship we have. We are truly, especially with our European partners, we're truly the extension of the factory in the North American market. And I keep saying North American. I'm Canadian. I'm couldn't be more Canadian. And we're gonna, those U.S. dealers that are watching, we're gonna fill you with some Canada here. But the reality is, the manufacturers rely on our expertise to bring their message to North America and listen to us, because we listen to you and we work on these vehicles of what we need to bring for products and get them to market. And the other thing that's very important to us is in-store merchandising. You see these displays behind us. Our crew in the US, because I can't get into the US, none of us can get into the US right now and come home without quarantining for 2 weeks. But the boys have been out there working really hard, setting these displays up. I mean, how many times have you got a display from your manufacturer and there it sits in the corner forever and ever and ever because you just don't have time to do it? So when you enter in a partnership with us, we design a display for you, we manufacture it, we make sure it's manufactured to sound great. Our crew comes out, we set it up in your store, we tune it, we make sure it looks good, we print accompanying graphics that go with that. Then we stick around the next day and we do a full-on system tuning course and training for all your staff. So it's really a partnership in what we're doing. We're not after dealers, we're not after dealer counts, we're after truly partnering with our dealers and training. And I know you're turning it over to me for the last roll-up, but I'm going to put it back to one of the training masters in our company, Chris, just to explain what we have been doing and what we are doing now with the current situation.
Yeah, so with, as Larry had mentioned, training is a huge aspect. So many of the products that we carry are super technical, so knowing the benefits, the uses, the applications of all of that kind of stuff, and knowing how to extract the best performance is paramount to delivering that experience to the client that you're trying to get to. For the last handful of years, pre-COVID time, of course, we had our truck and trailer roadshow. The MSC team was out on the road, demo cars in full force, big presentations with big audio systems and big screens and practical applications, getting hands-on, testing, tuning, all of that kind of stuff. Since COVID has put a hamper on actually getting out into people's stores, we've really scaled up our one-on-one training aspects between phone calls, Zoom calls, team viewers, all of the different aspects that we're able to get in touch, put faces to faces, get hands-on and work with our dealers. directly. And this isn't just something that's reserved for owners and management. This is guys in the bays that are hands-on with these cars that we're spending time one-on-one with day after day after day, making sure that all the tools are available to every single person who's using them. We continue being in touch with our dealers daily on things like system design aspects, making sure that when you've got that new car in the bay, getting in touch, reaching out and applying all the different tools in our toolbox, whether it be integrated DSP products or standalone products or any variation. Our dealers have always been comfortable reaching out to us, and we've got nothing but time to make sure that we can give all of our knowledge and impart everything we can back to those partners.
Well said, Chris. Well said. In the last 1 minute that remains, what can dealers who are tuning into the MSC showcase of Industry Week expect over the next few hours?
We got a lot of cool stuff. Especially, we need you to tune in at 2 o'clock. If you got stuff to do, be back at 2 o'clock, because this is really going to hone in on our culture of what we're all about. So thanks for spending time with us.
What time zone, Larry, when you say 2 o'clock?
Oh, sorry, 2 o'clock Mountain Time.
Oh, so that would
Pacific.
be 4 o'clock Eastern.
4 o'clock Eastern.
Gotcha. Guys,
or if you want to get real technical, that is 9 p.m. Germany time.
Very good. Very good.
Because I know some of you are watching.
Absolutely. Very cool. Thanks for taking the time, guys. I think it was time well spent. We had a much better understanding about what you guys are all about, your culture, as you referred to it as, Larry. And I, for one, look forward to the next few hours, because I know we got to get our learn on when it comes to everything from MSC. Larry, can't thank you enough. Chris, you as well.
Always.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Ben.
Bye, Ben.
There you have it, guys. Both Larry and Chris from MSC, direct from their MSC studios in Calgary. We got a whole bunch of learning to do over the next few hours. Make sure you check your schedule. We're going to go through all the MSC brands, whether it's Audiotec, Fischer, Brax, Helix, Match, along with a Stinger and Escort, and of course a Blam for high-end speakers. Hey, I'm your host, Ben Wu. Thanks for tuning in to this MSC showcase on day 5 of CMA Industry Week. Until next time, we connect.